Shamanatira Panachari Shamanatira Panachari Jai Radha Madhavam Kanjabi Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Panaman Sabhaiva Chakachaya Sutta Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. All glories to the Assam devotees. Glories to the Assam devotees. All glories to the Assam devotees. Glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 22, verse number 3. Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. So text number 3. Vipe minaham nirayat parachito. Vipe minaham yap parachito. Napashabandhat vyasanadarat yayat. Naivatta krichat bhavata vinikrahat. Krichat bhavata asadhu varat rishamudije yatha. Ibe menaham nirayaparachito. Napashabandha vyasanadarat yayat. Naivatta krichat bhavata vinikrahat. Asahu varat vishamudije yatha. Chant. Viminaha marayabha chato. Napashabandha vyasanadarat. Naivatta krichat bhavata vinikrahat. Varat Vinaha nirayaparachita. Apashavaha vyasanadarat. Naivatta krichat bhavata vinikrahat. Asahu varat vishamudije yatha. Ladies. Vibhenaha nirayaparachito. Apashabandha vyasanadarat yaya. Vata krichat sadhu vada vishamudije yatha. Repay me. I do fear. Na, not. Aham, I. Nirayat, from a position in hell. Parachita, nor do I fear being deprived of my position. Na, not. Pashabandhat, from being arrested by the ropes of Varuna. Vyasanat, nor from the distress. Tiratyayat, which was unbearable for me. Na, nor. Eva, certainly. Artakrichat, because of poverty or scarcity of money. Bhavata, of your lordship. Vinigrahat, from the punishment I am now suffering. Asahuvadat, from defamation. Prisham, very much. Udije, I become anxious. Yata, as. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I do not fear being deprived of all my possessions, living in hellish life, being arrested for poverty by the ropes of Varuna, or being punished by you as much as I fear defamation. Purport. Although Bali Maharaj fully surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could not tolerate being defamed for cheating a brahmachari. Being quite alert in regard to his reputation, he thought deeply about how to prevent being defamed. The Lord therefore gave him the good counsel to prevent defamation by offering his head. A Vaishnava does not fear any punishment. Narayana parasarvena kutasthana vipati. Bhagavatam 6:17-28. Mukam karati vachalam bhangam langhate girim yakipam tamham bande shigurum dinatarinam. Om Gyana Timrandasya Gyananja Shakaya Chakshumiritam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. So Bali Maharaj it looks like he's suffering a huge punishment materially. There's a huge drama here going on. Sometimes we might have dramas going on in our life too. But we should know that it's not punishment, but it's actually mercy from the Lord. So he says, he doesn't care. I lost everything. I lost all my possessions. I mean, people in this world, they commit suicide if they lose everything. The stock market crashes, that's it. I have nothing. Everything is gone. I'm finished. He's not afraid of going to hell. That's very fearful, hellish place. He's not afraid of being arrested by the ropes. He's tied up now. And his Guru has cursed him to go to hell, and also the Lord has said, yes, you're going. Of course, it's the lower planets. It's the lower planet. He's not going to the hellish planets. He's going to the lower planets. Being arrested for poverty by the ropes of Varuna. He's not afraid of being tied up or being punished by Vamana. But one thing he is afraid of, and that is defamation. So the Kshatriyas, they're very attached to their fame, and they're very attached to keeping their promise. They must keep their promise above all things. So just like Bhishma Dev, he gave his promise that if Krishna doesn't fight in this war, then Arjuna will die. And Krishna promised before that I won't fight. But Krishna broke his own promise to keep the promise of Bali Maharaj. So all of this drama that's going on is simply to give glory to Bali Maharaj. He gave everything. He gave all his things. That's mine. Everyone is think this is mine, this is mine. He gave all the mine, everything to Krishna, and he gave himself. So there's I and there's mine. So the materialistic people, they're attached to all the possessions. These are all my things. He gave that. And the Gyanis, they're more thoughtful. They're attached to being I. Oh, I am this. I am God. So he gave both of those. He sacrificed. He sacrificed everything to Vamana Dev. And so the principle that we can understand here is that Vamana Dev he actually enjoys everything. Everything belongs to him. The whole universe, he showed it. He showed it by taking his 2 steps. And then he showed his universal form. Yeah, the trees are my hairs, and the clouds are my head. You can hear about it in other chapters of Bhagavatam, how the Lord, he shows his universal form, as he showed here. So the principle that we learn here is that Bali Maharaj is following. Everything belongs to Krishna. So if you understand this principle, then you will behave in a certain way. If you understand everything belongs to Krishna, you will behave. Then it will actually, your behavior will go that way. That way everything belongs to Krishna, so therefore I should behave like this. So Gita also says that aham saras prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate, that I am the source of everything, everything comes from me. So that's the principle. And then the behavior comes in the second part of the verse. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava saman vitaha. That the wise people who know everything comes from me, they will worship me with all their hearts. So, if we really believe that everything comes from Krishna, and Krishna is Lord of everything, we will worship him with our heart. With our heart. Buddha and bhava. With intelligence, with the heart, we have to worship Krishna. And so yes, we should sacrifice, just like Bali Maharaj sacrificed everything. We should also sacrifice. We may not be able to sacrifice everything, but we can still sacrifice for Krishna. Yes. And so how should we sacrifice? What should we sacrifice? Well, Krishna says in Gita, 4 things he wants. Pattaram pushpam phalam toyam. I want leaf of flower, fruit, or water. Any poor man can give that. You know, there's lots of leaves everywhere. And there's fruit. You can, of course, in the old days, you could pick it from the trees 5,000 years ago, but now you have to go to the supermarket. But even if you can't afford the leaf, the flowers are expensive these days if you don't have a garden. Water, just give water, at least give water to Krishna. Yeah, there was one man who was worshiping Durga, and he said, "Oh, I will make a sacrifice to you," but he didn't do it, but she was talking to him. Where's my sacrifice? He said, "Oh, okay, no. Okay, let me think. Okay, maybe tomorrow. No, I'll give you something else. How about a leaf of flower, fruit, or water?" No. He didn't do that either. The next day came, and she said to him, "Why don't you just give me anything? Give me a fly. There's so many flies flying around here." And so he said, "Well, they're flying around, so why don't you just catch one?" So this is not the attitude for sacrifice. We have to sacrifice with our heart, and that's what Krishna accepts, bhakti. He accepts the bhakti from us. So, as everything in this world is part of Krishna, universal form, then what the flower, the fruit, the water, they are the hairs on his body. Every herb, every tree, every plant has a purpose in the universal form, and we also have a purpose. We are all we are like cells in the body of the universal form. Just like our body has so many cells, and if they're healthy, then we will be healthy if they don't fight. But if you get cancer, they start fighting with each other, and then you get unhealthy. So similarly, if we serve Krishna, then the world will be peaceful. It will be, and that is we can see when there's a Krishna conscious king, King Yudhishthira. He ruled 5,000 years ago, and that time the clouds gave all the water that was needed, not too much, not too little, not freezing, like now in Florida, which is a sort of tropical climate. Freezing, snow in Florida, can you imagine? They didn't have that before, lots of snow. So yeah, that didn't happen when Yudhishthira was king. And the earth produced everything. You could just go pick the fruits and the vegetables, and the cow was giving milk. And another thing was that the rivers, the oceans, this is 1st Canto, 10th chapter, verse 5. The rivers, the oceans, the hills, the mountains, the forest, the creepers, drugs, paid their tax quota to the king. So if you have a Krishna conscious, then this is climate control here. That not only the people have to pay tax, the trees and the fruit, everything, the gardens, the hills have to give jewels and all the things you need. You don't have to go mining. They will just give on top. You can just go and get it. So this is just, the king was protecting, he was protecting the climate, the oceans. There was no pollution. He's protecting the forest. People weren't cutting down the trees to make books and stuff. And he was protecting everything. So just like the king protects the citizens and they give tax. So Yudhishthira was protecting the trees. They were giving their tax. Fruits and flowers were just coming like that. You didn't have to cultivate. And so this is, if we can actually do this, we can be Krishna conscious, cell in the body of Krishna, then we'll influence the whole body to be Krishna conscious. And these herbs, a lot of times when in my childhood I thought dandelion is just a weed, we pick it up and throw it. And now they say, it's very good for your liver. It's good for your health to eat. In one temple I had dandelion pakoras even. So, yeah, because people do not know what is the purpose of these herbs, and they think it's all weeds. So Srila Prabhupada, he had that experience. He told 1930, he had a toothache. He went to so many dentists, they couldn't help him. And then his servant took him to the jungle, to the village, and there was a doctor there, and he got some weed out of the village, put it to Prabhupada's cheek, and all the germs came out, and he was okay. And so, yes, this Ayurvedic medicine is very, very powerful. And everything in this world has a function to perform for the pleasure of Krishna. So yes, when we are Krishna conscious, then we can actually be in tune with nature. Our body can be in tune. If we are in tune with nature, our body is in tune with nature, then we can become healthy. And everything will be fixed for us. So sometimes people ask the question, well, why should we sacrifice? Why should we give things to Krishna? So the first reason why we should sacrifice is out of gratitude. Krishna is providing for us all these things. Yeah, he's giving us the air to breathe, he's giving us food to eat. And so if we are grateful, if we appreciate what Krishna is giving us, then we should sacrifice to Krishna. Yes, this is, I love you. Just like we should show our love. Krishna's not hungry, he's not poor, but he's asking for our love. Just like I have a son, Govinda. Now when he was 5 months old, maybe, no, that boy is bigger. I don't think there's any 5 months old in here. But when he was 5 months, he was a very big baby, so I had to give him grains. I couldn't wait till 6 months, 4 months. He was getting grains. And so when he was 5 months old, all he could do was sit. He couldn't walk. So I was taking the spoon, putting it in the porridge and sticking it in his mouth. So one fine day, he took the spoon out of my hand, stuck it in the porridge, and stuck it in my mouth. I said, oh, he loves me. So that's what, we're babies of Krishna. And if we can, when we feed Krishna, when we give things to Krishna, and he feels, oh, he loves me, she loves me. Now that's one reason why we should sacrifice for Krishna. Just out of gratitude we should sacrifice. And also to the devotees, we should sacrifice. We understand that not only should we give to Krishna, we should give to Krishna's devotees. Just like one time Prabhupada was in the airport, some airport somewhere in the world, and devotees were saying, you know, one day we're going to have an airport for you in Mayapur, so you have your own airport. And Prabhupada said, no, this is also my airport too. Or maybe it was in Europe somewhere. Yeah, London, no, this is my airport, Heathrow. Heathrow's my airport too. It all belongs to the devotees too, because they're servants of Krishna. So Prithu Maharaj, he appeared many, many millions of years ago, and he got darshan of the Kumaras. They were like giving him spiritual instructions. So he wanted to give them something, some dakshin. And he said, but what can I give? It all belongs to you. It's all your prasad. It's all your mercy. So how can I give it? What can I give? And so the devotee, he tries to give Krishna out of gratitude, out of love. The example is Sudama. He had nothing. He was poverty-stricken. He went next door to borrow because he had nothing. They borrowed from their poor neighbor who had some broken rice, chipped rice. And he tied it in his chadar, took it to Krishna. And he was kind of embarrassed. He didn't want to offer it. And Krishna grabbed it. And he took one bite. And then he wanted another bite. And Rukmini said, no, 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 please. I'll have to become a servant in his house if you take another bite. Lakshmi, Rukmini is Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. Of course, just that one bite was enough to give him a palace and servants and wonderful, beautiful life and new young body. So what should we give to Krishna? Krishna tells, he's glorifying the trees in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in 10th canto, how wonderful are these trees, they're sacrificing everything for the people. And then he said a verse, a very nice verse, that we should give 4 things to Krishna. Pranayar, Artayar, Dhiya, and Vacha. And that means, prana means give your life, like Bali gave. Bali gave his life, And that's the first thing you should give. If you can't give that, you say, oh, that's really too much. All right, next thing is artha. Give some money, give a donation. And you think, no, I'm struggling to pay my bills. I can't give donation. That's okay. There's number 3, dhya, intelligence. Use your intelligence to help organize things, organize a festival, organize this. You think, well, I'm not so intelligent. One thing is left, vacha, your words. You can chant. You can sell a book. You can tell everybody to chant Hare Krishna. There's no excuse here that you can't sacrifice something for Krishna. That's prana, artha, dhya, and vacha. Your life, give your life. Yeah, when we joined, we had to give our life. That was no question of only money. We had to give our life, our money, our intelligence, and our words too, everything. It was like that, full package. Whatever you had, if we had some possessions, we had to donate them to the temple. They would sell them. I was a musician, I had a cello. I had to sell it to pay half of the rent for Boston Temple. And other people had different things. There was one member, one who was the leader of a band, one of the bands that was touring in the 70s. And so he joined the temple, and then but he owned all the instruments. So he took all the instruments and gave it to the temple, and then his band was finished, kind of. But anyway, that was how it was. We were married, my husband and I, and we had to give. We didn't have much to give. I had my cello. You had to give everything, give your life, because Prabhupada was calling us, like the Pied Piper. He kind of comes, and he starts calling, and you hear the music, and you run, like the gopis. Krishna played his flute, and you hear the flute, and you just start running, and you drop everything and run. So that's how it was with us. But we heard Prabhupada, and we just dropped everything and ran. And there was one devotee, he was studying for his, to be a doctor. And he had one more exam left to do before graduation. He just dropped it and left. But later on, he finished and became a doctor for the devotees. And so that was okay. And he would do very expensive operations, $1 million operations, for free for the devotees. So yeah, you can finish your education. It's also a good idea, and then you can do something for Krishna as well. So give your life, or if you can't do that, give money. Can't do that, give intelligence. If you can't do that, then give your words. So Srila Prabhupada, he saw all of us that we are parts of Krishna. We belong to Krishna, but we're not offering ourselves. So Prabhupada wanted to offer us to Krishna, and he still does. He wants to offer all of you too. So he had that vision, and he engaged all of us, rich and poor, and some of us had nothing to give Krishna, others did. Jayananda gave his savings to Prabhupada to print Nectar Devotion. Brahmananda gave his life savings when he joined. He was giving a check for $5,000 to Prabhupada, and then he asked Prabhupada, could I have the set of Bhagavatam? We had the 3 books, first canto. Prabhupada said, that will be extra. So, yeah, he knew how to engage us. And Brahmananda said, it was so much easier to give that $5,000 than the $16, because then I became a brahmachari. I had no money, so I couldn't give. But finally he did it. So another reason why we should offer to Krishna, out of gratitude, out of friendship. Just like in Nectar of Instruction, there's a verse, Dadati patigrinati guhyam akyati prichati. Bhungte bhojati chaiva savidham piti lakshanam. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, offering prasad are 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Now, very interesting, in 1966, in the very beginning of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada said, now we have to make friendship with Krishna. So we have to have these 6 loving exchanges with Krishna also, with the devotees also, with Krishna also. We have to, If you want to see somebody very great, you bring a gift. You bring a gift for Krishna, and you accept gifts from Krishna. You bring food, you accept prasad. You reveal your mind confidentially. When you pray, you go for before the deities, you pray and reveal your mind. Nectar of Devotion tells there's one type of prayer where you reveal your mind to Krishna. Oh, I'm sorry I did so many mistakes in my life. Please forgive me. There's 3 types of prayer. One is appreciation. One is begging for forgiveness. And the third one is praying for some higher, your constitutional position to be revealed. So this is how we have to love Krishna. And we have to practice how to love Krishna. And again, in 1966, Prabhupada said, first you have to get up early in the morning. First thing, you don't like to, but you think, okay, I'll get up early to satisfy Krishna. If you go to Jaipur in India, the whole town goes to Mangalarti, thousands of people. And I was up one morning at 4 o'clock before Arti, and people were running down the streets saying, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. You know, they were really enthusiastic. So, yeah, they already had the taste. It'll take us a while before we get that taste to start running and go, Radha Bala, Radha Bala. The day may come when we can't wait to go to Mangalarti, and we can't wait to put our hand in our bead bag. Oh, yeah, this is my time with Krishna, quality time. Quality time, just like now people are so attached to their cell phone, they can't, they really can't leave it. They grab for it. It's like the mode, the mode, you just have to have it. But how many people are like that with their beads? No, 16 rounds, okay, finished, bye-bye, my beads. So Prabhupada said, yeah, I have to chant 16 rounds, and you may not want to do it. You may be lazy, but you have to do it if you want to love Krishna. And so this is our practice. And when I was a new devotee in Boston, 1970, we had 65 people in the temple. We all had to go up in the queue once a week and tell the deities what we did that week and what were our problems. We had to report. We had to tell our mind, okay, this was my problem, please help me. And so, yeah, we had to do that, reveal our mind to the deities. And that's how they practiced in Boston in the early days. So, yes, this is how we can serve Krishna, by chanting, by going Mangala Arti, following the morning program. And this way, we can make progress. So, yes, the impersonalists, they can't understand how we can have relationship with Krishna. Krishna is a person. He's very personal. He's thinking, no, I'll be God. But we think, no, I'm servant of God. I want to become one in interest with God. And so Srila Prabhupada, we also, not only we worship the deities, we worship Srila Prabhupada, we worship the Guru. So one time Prabhupada arrived in London airport, and as soon as the devotees saw Prabhupada, they all hit the ground. And the reporters were there, and they looked and they said, first question to Prabhupada, do you think you are God? And Srila Prabhupada said, the spiritual master should be offered all respects as God. But if he thinks he's God, then he is dog. So they couldn't defeat Prabhupada. No. So we have the sacrificial altar. If you go and if you're very close to Radharani and you see the marks on her lotus feet, you will see one mark, which is a sacrificial altar, altar of sacrifice. And if you meditate on Radha Vallabha's feet, what this means, if you meditate on this mark, then your sins are burned up like the fire of sacrifice. All your sins will be burned. That's one meaning. And also, another meaning is the universe, as the universe is nourished by Brahmins offering fire sacrifices, so if you offer your mind in sacrifice to Radha Krishna's lotus feet, then you will help to nourish the whole universe. So Srila Prabhupada said the chanting, it goes around the world and it nourishes the world. If you offer your mind also, it will help in universal peace. We can make a difference. Just offer your mind to Krishna. It's not easy. but you can try. You can try to do that. Now, there's one more meaning of the sacrificial altar and Radharani's lotus feet, that this whole world, whatever we see, that's the universal form of Krishna. So we take something from that universal form, and when we offer it, that is the form of Radharani. So if we take something and offer it, then we bring Radha and Krishna together on the sacrificial altar. So that's the meaning of that mark on Radharani's lotus feet. So sages from Naimisharanya, they're trying to do a 1,000-year fire sacrifice. They used to live longer, 5,000 years ago. 1,000 years they would live, Dwapara Yuga. So they say, okay, we're trying to do this sacrifice. And we just began it, but we don't know the result because we're making so many mistakes. And our bodies are black with smoke. You know, if you make a fire sacrifice, it's supposed to burn like fire. You're not, if there's smoke there, that means it's not working. It's not working. And that was, I think, Jumuna and Gurudas, when they had their marriage, they got these cheap crates instead of wood. And maybe you get that here, cheap crates made of wood, very thin. And they, instead of butter, instead of ghee, they got margarine. And it wouldn't burn, it was just sputtering like. And so I think I probably made a comment, this marriage will have a slow start. So, but anyway, yeah. So they're having that experience, the smoke, we're getting black from the smoke. But what really is making us happy is the nectar of the lotus feet of Krishna, Govinda, which you are distributing. So that is our sacrifice in the age of Kali. It's not, fire sacrifice was for Treta Yuga, actually. Although we do fire sacrifices for initiation, marriage, and things, but the actual Yuga Dharma is to chant the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and to hear Krishna Katha. So anybody have, let's stop here. If anybody has questions, comments, then you can ask at this point. Do we have a microphone today? Oh, you have a question over here.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. How do we offer our mind to Krishna?
How do you offer your mind to Krishna? Well, Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, man mana, think of me. We offer our mind to Krishna by thinking of Krishna. And also when we chant the holy name, if our mind is chanting along, then we can offer our mind to Krishna. Sometimes we're chanting, but our mind is on Facebook or it may be somewhere else. So we have to get our mind to chant along with the tongue. And then we can offer our mind to Krishna. And also you can, with your mind, you can think of wonderful prayers to offer, wonderful things to offer. The mind accepts and rejects. So think of how you can serve Krishna with your mind also. You can use your mind in the service of Krishna. And actually, at the end of Gita, Krishna says, one who reads this Gita worships me by his intelligence. So you can read Gita and think about it and apply it. Just like, again, we're talking about principle. The principle Krishna gives, first thing, you should tolerate. There's going to be trouble. You're going to have trouble in this world. But you have to tolerate and go on with your service. So then you read that, you say, okay, today I'm going to tolerate everything and go on with Krishna's service. Tolerate, yeah. Probably the most difficult thing is your own crazy mind to tolerate. But then you have to try to bring it in Krishna's service. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you for the nice class. Mataji, you mentioned when we have intelligence, we develop the faith, and then eventually we start worshipping Lord Krishna. And then we can go back to Godhead. But if someone starts worshipping Lord Krishna according to Bhagavad Gita, according to his instructions, and doesn't know about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the other incarnations, and doesn't accept them as the Lord, will they make progress in bhakti? Or
What happens if you don't know? Well, the thing is, if you read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, you'll hear about Lord Chaitanya, for sure. But I did meet such people. According to Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says if you worship Krishna and don't accept Lord Chaitanya, then it'll be difficult to make progress. Because age of Kali, he is our incarnation. He is the incarnation who has come to save us. So if you don't accept him, it'll be very difficult for you. Maybe you can make progress, but it'll be very slow, very slow. I mean, reading Gita is the beginning, so maybe you don't know about Lord Chaitanya. As long as you don't reject him, then it's okay. The devotees will have to tell you about Lord Chaitanya. But I do believe it is in the book, because I did sell one book to a man in India. He said, as long as there's nothing about Lord Chaitanya in the book, I'll buy it. So I sold him the book. He came back, there's something about Lord Chaitanya. So it must be there. I don't think they can become ignorant if they read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Lord Chaitanya is there. He is in, Prabhupada puts him there. We get the mercy. Yes, over here.
Hare Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells to Arjun that whatever you do,
all that you do, all that you eat. Ya karoshi arajnashi.
So in today's world, the work that we do, our job and all that, if we have a mindset that we are doing it for Krishna, whatever our duties are, the job, if we assume or think that this is what Krishna wants us to do, can that be considered as service to Krishna?
It can be considered service to Krishna if you give a part of your profit to Krishna. Give some donation. That means you're working for Krishna. If you give a part of your profit to Krishna, that's how you purify your work of all the bad reactions. So if you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to give this to Krishna, then it's devotional service to Krishna. You can do that.
So in that case, sometimes when we're chanting, the mind wanders. Maybe we start thinking about work-related stuff.
Work-related things.
Is that okay or is that?
It would be better if you think about the holy name. Just hear the holy name, and you just tell your mind, okay, for now we'll chant, and after chanting we can give the mind a time to think about it. Okay, well, as soon as we finish chanting, then we can think about all these things. Yes, even though it's indirect, it is devotional service, but while you're chanting, the best thing is to concentrate on hearing and chanting the holy name. Yeah. I mean, you can look at pictures of Krishna, that's okay. You can think of the form of Krishna, you can think of the deities, that would be good. Yes, you have no. Anybody have a question? Yes. Oh, you have another one? Okay.
Hare Krishna. Is it a fault on the part of a devotee to avoid defamation?
Is it a fault of the devotee to avoid defamation? Well, in Bali Maharaj's case, he was acting like a Kshatriya. And for them, fame is the most important. In fact, one of the arguments Krishna gave to Arjuna for fighting is, if you don't fight, then your enemies will give you bad words, and you'll have infamy, you'll have bad fame. And so it's not a fault if you're doing something for Krishna. It's not a fault. It's okay. Oh yeah, it's very good if you think like that, If I do this bad thing, I will get a bad reputation among the devotees. And so I think it's helpful, actually, if you don't want to be defamed. Then your behavior might improve if you think, oh, what will the devotees think of me if I do that? Okay, any other? In fact, it was an argument of Krishna. Yeah, you'll get infamy. You will be defamed if you don't fight. They will think you're a coward. They will say, you're a coward. That's why you're not fighting. Arjuna didn't want to fight. Okay. Okay, and then, yeah, okay. And then back in the back we have somebody. Yeah, what happened? Is it working? Not working. Microphone not working. Okay, so, yeah, okay, you have to speak loudly.
Okay, thank you very much for the class, Narayani. I have a situation. Sometimes when something nice, very nice happens to us, we say, oh, that's Krishna. And we are happy and go along.
Okay, you're in a situation, something happens, and you accept it. It's a bad thing, you're saying? Difficulties.
No, that's Krishna.
Anything is Krishna, whatever happens.
Yeah, but we are happy
And you're happy.
question.
And you don't question why.
But when something bad happens,
Oh, when something good happens, we don't question why. We think, oh yeah, that's of course. Yeah, that is really Krishna's mercy. Yeah, so yeah, when something difficult happens, then we do question, why did this happen to me? I'm a good devotee. It shouldn't happen. Okay, I can give you an exercise to practice that will help you understand why. And the exercise is this. You write down 10 reasons why you are thanking Krishna for this to happen. For example, thank you, Krishna, for breaking my computer, because now I will use my brain more. Thank you, Krishna, for breaking my computer, because now I won't forget how to write with a pen. Actually, in school they don't teach, I heard they don't teach how to write anymore. And they don't teach cursive writing. It's a lost art. Thank you, Krishna, for breaking my computer, because now I'll get more exercise. Thank you, Krishna, for breaking my computer. I will be in nature more. Of course, we have cell phones, so it's not a big thing. Maybe that would be a better one. Thank you for breaking my cell phone. Because before it used to be computers, but now it's cell phones. And then, thank you, Krishna, for breaking my computer, my cell phone. Now I'll get a new one. So the wonderful, very interesting thing happens when you practice this exercise. It's broken. I'm sorry, the microphone is not working. You have a battery. So very interesting thing happens when you do this exercise. The person whose computer was not working, after he wrote 10 reasons why he was grateful, it started working. And this happens because what we need is a change of attitude. We have to thank Krishna. Oh, as soon as you change your attitude, then everything changes. It happened to me also. It happened to another devotee. There's so many stories. One lady, she asked her father, can I use the car to go to the temple tomorrow? And the father said, no, I really need the car. It's really, it's very urgent. You can't have the car. So then she wrote her 10 reasons, went to sleep. The next morning, father said, actually, you can have the car. I'm going by train. And I had that experience too. It was, I was in Sweden, and what a preacher needs, the first thing is internet connection. And so somebody was trying to help me, and they ruined my computer, so I couldn't connect to anything. And then I called my son. My son said, Mom, it's midnight. I said, technical support. And so he said, okay, do this step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, didn't work. So I started writing. I had 8 reasons, and I fell asleep, and I had a dream. I did 1 step wrong. And then I woke up, and I could connect to internet. It's a good exercise. And even if you don't get what you want, your attitude changes, and you see the hand of Krishna in 10 different ways. Oh, why could it be? Why could this happen? You see why, actually. You see why. How Krishna is working in your life. You can do this with relationships with other people. You can do it. Yeah, one devotee, she tried it. Electricity went out. It was, again, I think in Sweden. That doesn't happen in Sweden. So she was angry. Why is electricity not working? And then she wrote her thing, and at least she gave up her anger. She changed her attitude. Oh, okay, it could be, maybe at the switch, something happened, or whatever. It does help to change your attitude. you can try to exercise when you have problems in your life. And there's prayers you can say also. There's one prayer, nothing is wrong. That's the first thing you say. Nothing is wrong. Krishna is in perfect control. My Lord, what lesson do you want me to learn from this? That's another thing you can do, a prayer. Simple prayer. First we think everything's wrong. And then we think, oh, no, I'm not in control. Krishna's in control, even if we're not. And then, okay, what's the lesson? What do I have to learn in this situation? Mostly you have to change your attitude, and that's what you have to learn. How do I have to change? Any other questions? Okay, Jai, glories to Prabhupada. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai.